and I find so many more men are starting to do this work. And I see it with my own clients. If they are married, most often than not, at some point, when a man watches the transformation in his own wife, at some point she, in her feminine energy, inspires him to look for help. Because I think where women are at right now is, I will say that with love, but if you are a man and if you are emotionally unavailable, we are not doing that anymore. And so we can understand when it comes from, because there are a lot of women who are also unlearning how to be more vulnerable and how to be emotionally available. But when that was okay for so many decades for men to shut down and not speak up and not have the hard conversations and not to address what needs to be addressed.
And women to be obedient to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
We shifted from that dynamic.
Correct.
Women are tired of being in this spot of silence, not understanding what is happening in a relationship, not having the hard conversations that need to be had. Not many women are up for that anymore, to be in a relationship where something is not going well and you as a man choose to just shut down or shut her down. So that's where we are at. I think this is the time, I think, for both women to learn how to let go of being so protective of their hearts. But the same is for men right now. The same is for men. How do I open up? And you don't have to become a woman to be able to support me. But there needs to be foundation of, if I'm as a woman say, this is how it feels for me. Hey, babe, what I just heard doesn't feel great for me. And if you shut down and you cannot have this moment with me, it becomes problematic. Add the kids to the equation that are very emotional and they are figuring out the world. We need to be able to hold space for all the emotions in some way. You don't have to be my girlfriend, because I have my girlfriends as a woman.
Correct.
To have conversations that, you know, I need to have. If I'm
my best friend.
Yes. He is in many ways, but
yes,
he's not my girlfriend.
No.
He's not my girlfriend.
He doesn't want to hear about your body shaming.
No.
He doesn't want to hear about the shoes you bought.
It's
call your friend. Call your
friend. And also when you are in a tough situation, maybe with your partner, and I say, don't talk about your partner to your friends, but you can still talk about him, but how you talk about him, right?
Matters.
Correct. How you express yourself really matters. Hold yourself to a higher standard, how you communicate. For example, there is something happening within your relationship and you need some support, let's say, right? Call your friend and say, I really need your support right now, but from a loving space. This is where I'm struggling. And I just need you to be loving with me, not to bash him, but...
And I'm not understanding his side, and I'm looking for an unbiased opinion.
Correct.
Can you help? Maybe you see something I don't.
Before I go and talk to him.
Correct.
You also have to have the skills to help yourself. To trust your own knowing and understanding what is happening in the situation. It's okay. It's life. This is life. This is literally life. This is life. So do you see, we as women, if we are high achievers, this is, I think, what is happening. If you married before doing any internal work on yourself, on how to love myself well, how to recognize my patterns, you get married, and then what I see with a lot of high achievers, or you attract a man that is not as successful as you or not as motivated, so you are pulling the marriage, you are pulling the business, you are doing everything in all aspects of your life, and at some point you are done. Right. And that's why you get a divorce. Or sometimes
you martyred your way through the relationship.
Correct. But what I see problematic is that if you are encountering any challenges in relationships or dating, get some support. I don't understand how this is so normal to pay for mentorship and masterminds in business. You will pay, you will put the time, the energy, everything, whatever is needed, you will do it on a weekend at night. But when it comes to relationships and your heart and your healing, it's like secondary or almost at the end of the list. But when you talk to women, what do you want? I want love and I want connection and I want to feel calm and content. Why aren't you investing in that? Why aren't you investing in that? Because it's a skill.
It is.
Those are sets of skills and understandings.
We're born with it. We think because we've seen our families that are married and have been in relationships before. We should know how to do this. This should come natural. This should be the natural part of life.
So look at your family. How natural was that? Do you want to repeat the same family dynamics that you've experienced? That's the question. When I look at my mom, I love my mom. But then when my dad died, I don't know how their relationship was. I think it was great. But her second relationship after that, I didn't want that. So where can I learn how a normal relationship, let's say how a relationship looks like when it's healthy communication, when it's healthy conflict resolution? I don't say perfect, but healthy, intentional, more conscious. And let's not be confused. When we say conscious, it doesn't mean we are all now enlightened and we are constantly conscious, because we are not. We are not ever 100%. We are always elevating. We are always learning, and we are always finding new ways of looking at ourselves in the world. So let's be honest. Nobody's, enlightened to the level that your work is done.
Correct.
But you can become more aware and more conscious and more intentional, 100% more intentional in your relationship. So because I wanted to be happily married, I needed to learn how to love well, but how to love myself well first before I love anybody else. Because if I don't love myself well, how will I love my partner well and my kids? No idea.